Attention, bobsled riders! You will soon be embarking on a thrilling podcast down the icy slopes of the Matterhorn. So please remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the bobsled at all times. Auf Wiedersehen!
Hello, Yodelers. We are the Matterhorn Yodelers. I am your host today, Japheth, with
Jackie
and
General Kenobi!
hello there. So it's Star Wars. It's Star Wars time of the year, right?
Yes.
We talk about
This
Star
is
Wars.
May the 4th week, if we put this out
if
properly.
we do it right, we'll do it correctly. If not, it's July 4th.
Right,
Happy
I know.
4th of July.
Yikes.
We're here for quotes for Disney, right?
Yeah.
Not Disney. Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Star Wars, inspirational Star Wars quotes.
Stuff that you're like, oh, that was
Oh.
good. I like that.
I thought we were doing Harry Potter quotes.
You could throw out Harry Potter quotes, and
kidding.
I guarantee there's some of our audience like, I swear Saboba said that.
Banta Pudo.
Avada Kedavra!
Wait, did he say that?
Now I just have this big old thing like his pod racer behind him going, do, 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 and he's saying that.
Avada Kedavra! Juba!
Better get home, Annie. My bones are aching. There's a storm coming. There's so many fun lines, and there's lines that we butcher. Like, there's the famous line I did recently where it's like, many banthas died getting us these plans.
That was hilarious.
And Jackie sent us a little meme of a bantha, like, with some secret
It's on our
plans.
Instagram.
So it's funny, just like, many banthas. You know what's funny? Mon Mothma, the actress, she's on a show I'm watching.
Oh,
I
is
didn't
she?
even realize it because it's been 40 years.
Right.
It's on Poldark. It's a British soap opera that takes
Yeah.
place in Britain during the time of American Revolution or post that. And I remember this old lady's like, she's so sassy. What has she been in? Oh, she's only been in Star Wars. She's only Mon Mothma. And I'm all like, many banthas died. It's just fun to bump into people so long from when the
Right.
movies came out. But we're going to start off with we're just going to talk about quotes that were like, oh, that was good. And then like they can be applied in our life. And like,
And some of them don't.
and some
And
of
we
them
can
don't,
talk
you
about
know,
that,
but
whether
they're,
or not we agree with what they say or not, or
yeah, for sure. This one was the first thing that popped into my mind. It's Han Solo, and he goes to C-3PO, never tell me the odds.
right.
And it's,
yeah.
you know,
It's a good one.
you got Han Solo, he's about to go into the asteroid field because there's a superstar destroyer with Darth Vader, you know, coming after him. And, you know,
you just
like,
gotta focus.
and you got C-3PO going like, you won't survive. It's 300-720 to 1.
Right.
And it's like, he's like, don't tell me the odds. This is what we're doing.
Well,
We've burned the boats. We are going forward.
Well, there's another quote for, I think, Force Awakens where, like, they're asking him, he's like, we're going to go into hyperspace from
Light speed.
we're going to go to light speed from the dock bay or whatever. Oh, what is it? The landing pad or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, is that even possible? He's like, I don't ask myself that question until after I've done it. It's just like,
Yeah, we're just doing it.
yep.
And
That was always his mentality. Or like, right before they're in Force Awakens where he's all like, oh, I can get in there. And he's like, how are you going to do that? You don't want to know.
and that's such a strong, that quote really sums up Han Solo.
Absolutely.
yeah.
And the other one where it's like Princess Leia's like, or he's like, I'm not here for this rebellion. I'm here for the money. Like,
Right.
He just does a good job in executing, what Han Solo is and that aura that so many people either wanted to aspire to be. I had a coworker tell me like he was disappointed when he found out that Star Wars wasn't about Han Solo. He thought the movie was centered around him.
Oh.
Him being the hero and
Right.
saving the day, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
So, what do you got, Peter? What's a fun quote?
Let's see here. I'm looking at my episode 1 quotes here. Let's go with one of the first lines of the movie. It says, don't center on your anxieties. Keep your concentration here and now where it belongs.
Oh, right at the meeting.
Right before. And then, Obi-Wan's all like, but Master Yoda said I should be mindful of the future. But not at the expense of the moment. And I think that's really good, because I think a lot of times we as people we get ahead of ourselves. We focus too much on, like, what's happening 3 steps ahead, that we lose track of what's happening right now, what's happening right in front of us. So
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of those quotes of being in the present and kind of like, be careful of the future.
Yeah.
What do you got, Jackie?
I've got one from Padme. She goes, sometimes we must let go of our pride and do what is requested of us.
that's Anakin. That's Anakin. I have that one. That was episode 2. Yeah. And because after that, Padme goes, Annie, you've grown up.
And then I killed all the kids and the women. I was
Because
so
I wrote that
angry.
one down,
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just like that one, because honestly, that's great marriage advice.
Mm-hmm. Pride? Yeah, that won't help you in a marriage. Not at all.
It's just sometimes just to let your pride down and just do it. Just get it over with. It's not worth it. It's not worth your pain.
Depends.
It depends. I really don't want to do
Whose turn is
dishes.
it? Whose turn is it really? That's when it matters.
Which kind of goes with Count Dooku quote I have here.
What do you got?
Twice the pride, double the fall.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I'm gonna go with Jin, and also Cassian says this: rebellions are built on hope, and it's like we have hope, And they kind of like. I'm not advocating any type of rebellion.
Right.
I
There's gonna be a lot of
support your local governments if they are just and true.
Right.
And so that's all I can say is I support my local and federal governments. This is not an advocate for any type of rebellion.
FBI, please, if you're, I know you're listening.
Yeah.
We are not advocating for any sort of violence.
Yeah, I mean that was the big theme of like Rogue One.
Rogue One
and
was
starting the
that setup
rebellion of
Yeah.
like you really get a feel of like how hodgepodge this like alliance was and how a little like saying like that could bring it all together. And it really is. Without hope in your life, what are you doing?
Well, yeah.
It's the goal, right? You have to have
Absolutely.
some like to go for.
And I loved how that movie, that theme of hope, set up for
A New Hope, yeah.
Like literally, like the actions of these brave people brought up a new hope, which is what the whole 4th movie's about. Sparking the fire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of good quotes from Cassian Andor when you want those kind of like, getting started, kind of entrepreneurial, like grassroots kind of movement kind of things
Yeah.
or quotes. All right, Jackie, what do you got?
So this is from Ahsoka and says, it's every citizen's duty to challenge their leaders, to keep them honest and hold them accountable if they're not. I just like that because it's like taking more responsibility.
It's your job
Yeah.
to do that.
Are you causing an uprising, Jack?
I was about to say, like,
Maybe I am.
Hold them accountable.
But no, just like that quote because it honestly relates a lot to today's times of like, it's your responsibility. Don't
you get
ignore
what
it.
you
Yeah.
get what you put into it.
Yep.
For sure. Peter, you got an Ahsoka quote?
I don't have an Ahsoka. I mostly stuck with the movies.
Okay.
I've
I've got an Ahsoka one. You mind if I do
Go
it
for
now?
it. You're
and
good.
then it's yours.
You're good.
Ahsoka Tano, and this is in Rebels. She goes, "This is a new day, a new beginning." So every day you can wake up and you can just say, "Hey, it's a new day. It's
Yeah.
a new beginning." We may have lost the battle yesterday, but we're here now. Let's just start fresh. And again, it goes with your theme where it's like, hey, don't look to the past or don't look to the future. We're here now. Boom. Let's go. So I thought it's quick and to the point, and there you go.
Right.
So what do you got, Peter?
All right. We got a Yoda quote. Yoda's got
man.
an
yeah.
Yoda is like, they're books. I've gotten gifts with little
Oh,
Yoda
yeah.
philosophy.
Oh man, he's honestly the person who probably inspires this episode, because I've got that shirt, Yoda, and it like has little tags of all his little catchphrases of like words of wisdom. sort of
yeah.
So you just copy down from your
Pretty
shirt?
much, right? Actually, I was looking for that shirt. I couldn't find it. I was like, where did that?
You
shirt
do like
go?
the theme, the episodes with like a shirt that you own.
I know. I try to, even though nobody sees it.
I'm not
You're
recording.
not- Here we go. So this is more of a conversation, but I really liked it. And it says, so it's Luke saying, "How will I know the good side from the bad?" And then Yoda says, "You will know when you are calm, at peace, passive." I thought that was really kind of like a profound quote where it's just all like there's a lot of confusion and out there where it's like how we gonna find the good from the bad? And I think he sums it up perfect. When we are calm, at peace, and passive, only then will we be open to that knowledge as to what is good and what is not good.
Yeah, that is a good quote to kind of recognize like peace and or where we really strive for,
Right.
everybody.
Yes.
All right, Jackie, what do you got?
I've got. So this one I like. This Obi-Wan. It says many of the truths that we cling to depend on our point of view.
Yeah, I had that.
That's a big
good
one. I
This
saw
is a
that
good
one. It's the point of view one where it's all like you think you're right, but it's all depending on what you see.
Yeah.
Reminds me of my garbage can
Your
social
garbage can?
experiment I did at Disney. Yeah, one day I was stuck at I picked up a shift and I was like strollers, but it was like in Adventureland and there are no strollers really there. And so they just put me at Treehouse since I knew how to operate the treehouse, meaning I knew how to stop people when the line was super busy. And I was just bored. And I look at the garbage can and somebody goes, "Oh, it's a blue garbage can." No, it's a green one. So at that point I was inspired to ask every person, what color is the garbage can? And you get the smart ones like, it's gold. It's like, no, that's gold trim. I'm talking about the overall color that you're looking at. Like, I'm colorblind. And well, this doesn't apply to you anymore. I'm sorry. But like I got a lot of people.
Well, what is it? What is the color to you?
And what is the color to you? But and then it always came like it was blue and green and people were going, "No, it is blue." I was like, "I can't believe you're thinking it's green." It was like our old like Thunderbird car that mom and dad
yeah.
Oh,
fight
right,
over.
right. What color is that?
You want to
Yeah.
you want mom and dad to
Blue.
disagree on something? It's blue. Yes, I'm on team blue. Dad's the
It's
only one where
team
it's green.
blue.
I was like, Dad's got like something in his eyes. Like, I don't know. Because everybody I've talked to was like, "Oh, that's blue." Dad's like, "No, it's green." But yeah, it's same thing, and and it was a point of view thing. It's like it doesn't like we're all looking at the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of what your point of view and how you are taking in, the information, the sensors, where and the processing.
Right,
in the
because
brain.
everyone has different knowledge, different looks on life and stuff, and so one truth may mean a different truth to someone else.
Has everybody had like that moment with their spouse where they're like interacting with somebody in hospitality or in customer service, and they walk away like they were totally rude, and you're like, they were? Oh, I totally missed that. Like I did not see it. Yeah, they did this and they did that, and I was like, I guess I wasn't picking up on that.
There's definitely been moments where my wife has made mention about certain people. It's like, I can't believe they said that, or it's like, I totally did not get that from what they were saying. Okay.
That's the tone you got from that?
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
That was a good quote.
All
All
right,
right. Man, I got so many. I'll go with the Obi one, and this one's kind of funny. Only a Sith deals in absolutes. And he does it. And this is what's funny. And there's like threads on the internet about this. It's an absolute statement itself.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
somebody has said like,
Yep.
Anakin, what is it? Anakin, either you or me, or what does it say? Either you or man, I'm screwed up. Man, my handwriting's all jacked up on this. Anakin, either you are with me or against me kind of mentality.
Right.
And that's where it's like only a Sith will engage in combat due to absolute reasoning. And that's kind of like that black or white.
Right.
Like they're the bad guy and I'm the good guy. And if you don't fight with me, you're the bad guy. And I
Right.
think that's where you're getting that. And sometimes there's a gray or they're just like, I'm just not involved. This
Right.
is your fight. You go and you do it. I'm not in your way. But some people don't. And like somebody wrote like, this is what should have been said. And it goes, and this is the moment, right before they have the huge duel.
Right.
And you have what is it? Obi-Wan saying to Anakin, he goes, "The Sith often make naive mistakes of simplifying a situation into black and white more than it is reasonable. You're making a mistake, consistent with the ideologies of the enemy. Can't you see how you're being fooled into working for the other side?" And it's just like, boy, it is easier just to say, only the Sith deal with absolutes.
Yep.
It's such a mouthful.
Yeah.
Those aren't my words. I don't know who wrote it, but it's just like, it's kind of a mouthful and trying to get around the contradictory statements, but it does make good movie lines right before an epic battle and setting up the tone of like brothers fighting each other.
Yeah.
How about this one? Your focus determines your reality.
Ooh.
That's like a manifestation kind
That
of thing.
one's cool.
A lot
Who
of
said
people
that
like
one?
that stuff.
Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon.
That was a Qui-Gon quote.
And then he got sliced.
he got stabbed.
He got
didn't get
stabbed.
sliced, He got stabbed.
He got stabbed by.
But yeah, no, I thought that's a great line where it's like so true. Like if you want to change your reality, change your focus.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's so true. It's like, because that's what you value, what you focus. And if you're focusing on things you don't value, then you're just going to flounder.
Yep.
Or you're just going to get frustrated.
So this one's Princess Leia, and says good intentions aren't enough. They're not meaningless, but that where we have to start, but not where we end. I just like that where it's like, you got good intentions, but that's where you start, not where you end.
Is that like kind of that thoughts and prayers kind of like statement? Like something tragic happens and I'm like, well, I give you my thoughts and prayers. You're like, well, I can't take my thoughts and prayers and feed my belly or something like
Right.
that.
Right.
You need action.
You need to act on those good intentions.
Yeah. What do you got, Peter? You got something?
I've got one that's kind of intended to be like a snarky comeback, but it's actually like a thoughtful.
It's got some depth to it.
Yeah. It's who's more foolish, the fool or the fool who follows him?
Is it Obi-Wan?
That's Obi-Wan to Han Solo.
Yeah.
Because Han Solo's all like, "Oh, you foolish old man," and he's all like, "Who's more foolish, the fool or the fool who follows the fool?"
Well, maybe it's the fool who's following the fool, thinking he's not a fool, but he is a fool. You just go in that country over and over.
But like, it's true. Like, I think it's one of those things. It's like, sometimes like, who do we really blame for the path that we're on? Do we blame ourselves or
The people that we lead are
or
leading
the people
us.
that we're following?
Yeah. Or letting us, or we're, yeah. I got one. Luke Skywalker said, 1,000 generations live in you now, but this is your fight. And it's kind of like it's like a heritage statement.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because at the time of the movie, it's like, the Jedis and everything that has grown and everything, like all the philosophies and the techniques have been refined to you, but there were so many generations that did that and built that. And that can go the same for your own generation. Like, hey, you have like warriors and you have, pacifists, or you have different traits that have built you to this point here and now it is your fight. And it also puts you like, yes, that was them, but now it's you. It's all about what you're doing and what lives on.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it goes along with another quote Luke Skywalker says, no one's ever really gone. And it's just like, you have that history behind
Just
you.
imagine Anakin just being haunted by all those little younglings.
Yeah.
There
Oh,
was
yeah.
like some joke about that, but then like you get in the nerd circle like, well, they didn't do the trek that like Luke Skywalker did, or no, like that Anakin and Obi-Wan did, where they went to the secret location like only a few people have in the Jedi.
Right.
Oh, is that how you become a
There's like this-
Jedi ghost? Is you go to a secret
There's
location?
like this secret like
The wills.
yes, the wills, and like so Yoda and Qui-Gon went, and so that's how you could do it. And I was like, oh. You got the other Jedi's like, man, I didn't get my ticket in time. Like, I didn't do it.
man.
You got the wavy guy just floating around.
that guy.
He's like, I made it in. We're referring to the one Jedi in episode 1 where you're
episode
like,
1, yeah.
how is he a Jedi? Like,
The
he's the
one.
easiest guy to kill. He didn't make it through the Clone Wars, did he?
He was
General Kunum or General Wavy Head Dude.
he was the book Jedi, you know.
was.
He's book smart, not a fighting Jedi.
Everyone needs a librarian.
We have Star Wars has a great librarian.
She's amazing.
She's fun. Yeah.
Like even though obviously the movies don't do her justice.
The
but,
comic books made her up pretty cool
Yeah.
and
they built her up big time.
all right, who's gone? Is it my turn?
Yeah, why don't you go?
Okay. This one is let's do Harrison Dula. I'll save my Thrawn ones for later. Harrison Dula, which I named my daughter after.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife does know this. I didn't trick her into go like, oh, it's the Greek goddess from Hercules,
Right.
the movie. No, Harrison Dula, who's the general, and she's predominantly known for being in the Rebels cartoon show.
Soon to be the Ahsoka show.
Soon to be the Ahsoka, and she will be in the Ahsoka show
Yeah.
too. We will. Her quote is, "We will not stand. We will not stand down. We will not be broken by fear. We are strong, united by our courage. Now is our time." You know, that's a pump up. Like, you wake up, you look in the mirror,
Like,
and you're
now
like,
is
you
the
thump that
time.
chest, and you're like, now is our time. I will not stand down. Yeah. Like, yeah.
Yeah, you got those.
I got my 4:00 in the morning. My wife's like, "Oh man, these pump ups are just getting too old." Yeah, whose time is
And
it?
you're just pumping up to hear your daughter.
It's our time. She's like, "Yeah, daycare." Oh, just shakes her head. Oh lordy. All right, Peter, what do you got? You got quite a few.
I've got one from. We've got Maz Kanata.
Ooh, Maz.
Maz Kanata.
She's the orange person with weird eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Chewie's the boyfriend
Right.
from the new movies.
Right. It says the belonging you seek is not behind you; it is ahead.
Just move forward.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like stop focusing so much on the past and focus on what's happening.
That's a big thing with Rey's arc.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who are my parents?
Yeah.
And then you have
Doesn't
Kylo
matter.
Ren going, "They're
They're
trash.
drunkards.
They sold you to the slave, like be a slave." I'm like, that's a jerk move. But again, they're enemies. We all can't have Darth Vader as our grandfather.
You see the rumor that Rey's pregnant?
No.
Yeah, I saw that.
So bad.
She's pregnant with Rey's baby.
With
Kylo's
Kylo's
baby.
Jedi ghost.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Darth Vader comes back. I'm back.
No, it's a little mini emperor. Like, hey, I'm back.
So be it.
When did this
Mother.
become like Ghostbusters and Jedi?
So be it. I am the last Jedi. Jedi. Yeah. Who did the last one?
I did.
Okay, Jackie. Bring us back.
This one's from Obi-Wan, and he says, "Strike me down, and I will become more powerful than you can possibly imagine." I just like that because it's like, yeah, you can tear me down, but I'll just become stronger.
Unless you really strike down, then you're dead.
Well, physically, yes.
Did we always wonder did Obi-Wan just pop up and just torment Darth?
I just love that robot.
I've got the high ground, Anakin.
There's a robot chicken sketch where Jar Jar Binks comes back as a Force ghost. So Darth Vader kills Jar Jar Binks because he's all like, "Annie, what happened to you?" It's like, "Jar Jar, quick, go into the escape pod," and he sends him to an airlock and kills Jar Jar, and then Jar Jar comes back to Darth Vader's sleeping, and Jar Jar comes back as a Force ghost. He's like, "Annie, I'm so sparkly, glowy." So funny. We're gonna be together forever. Hey!
Yeah, there's so many ways to torture Darth Vader. That's why he's so angry. He's all like, "We made it out of the asteroid." He's stroking people, and he's like, "Well, bad night." He's angry right now. Oh, that's fun. There was a quote for Jar Jar Binks, since you brought him up, with Qui-Gon, where he goes, "The ability to speak does not make you an intelligent being." And there's moments in my life going,
think that-
you're
I
like,
feel like I could.
That
wish
is-
you could say that.
That
like,
is an honest truth statement right there with how you look at social media and people in general. It's
Yes.
all like the ability to speak does not mean you're intelligent.
doesn't mean the message getting across correctly there, or you're coming off intelligent. All right, I'm back to Harrison Dola. If all you do is fight for your own life, then your life means nothing. So don't be selfish.
yeah.
Gotta give a little bit. That's the true reward. All right, Peter, what do you got?
Okay, here we go. I'll see if you guys can figure out who said this.
Ooh, a game.
Yeah. He's got to follow his own path. No one can choose it for him.
Is that Leia?
That is Leia.
Is it
At what point?
Or Kylo Ren?
No, this is episode 4. She's talking about Han Solo.
Oh.
So like she's like
She's mad at him.
She's no,
He's
it's
taking the
Luke,
money and
Luke,
running.
Luke is mad at Han, and then Leia's all like, he's got to choose his own path. This is right before the big Death Star battle,
Yeah, it's like
And
he's
so-
he's taking his money.
and
He's playing the murder mystery game in Jackbox,
right.
and everyone's all like, well, "If we all do shields, we'll be okay." And Han Solo's all like, "I'll take the money."
And the thing is, like, I think it's a true statement today. I think a lot of times we get so caught up on other people's decisions and life choices that sometimes it's like you gotta let people make their own
Exactly.
choices, and you
Yeah.
gotta let them be them.
There's a quote that goes along with it. It's not a Star Wars one. It's from Jack Cornfield, and he's like a big Eastern philosophy. He goes like, "Tend to your own garden."
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
that you really just need to worry about. You know what's going on here. If
Yeah.
they need help, they'll ask for it, but
Right.
tend to your own garden.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of a good quote.
Oh, okay. This one, it's from Corso Riggs, which
I had to look him up earlier before
It's
you
a
got
video
here.
game
It's like Old
character?
Republic, like video
Oh.
game character, or like comic book maybe.
All right, man, you're pulling deep here, Jackie.
She's like, I was playing the game on the PlayStation 2.
so if I trust the wrong guy, maybe I get hurt. But if I'm too scared to help someone who really needs it, who knows how many people will suffer?
It's true.
Yeah.
You got to trust a little.
Yeah. You can't live in the fear.
Mm-mm. No way. Because we all know. What did Yoda say?
Yeah, say it.
Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear. I'm sorry. I'm totally
Peter,
Peter, why
Fear,
don't you
fear
do it,
leads
Peter?
to anger.
All right.
Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. I was like, what accent am I
That is-
using? Was that Jamaican at one
I don't
point?
know
I
what
don't
that
know, yeah.
was.
I'm sorry.
You got to go Muppet here. I mean,
I'm-
fear is the path to the dark
That's
side.
Yeah,
good. You nailed
that's
it.
Fear
it.
leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
And that quote always runs on. I'm getting really mad. I'm like, I'm fair. Oh, as you get angry, like, oh, I'm starting to hate them.
Well, it goes with another Yoda quote because he does a lot of fear and
Yep.
anger. There's a lot of quotes from him from there, but it says this is from Return of the Jedi. It says, "But beware, anger, fear, aggression. The dark side are they. Once you start down the dark path forever, will it dominate your destiny?"
Yep.
So, you know, you got to be careful about those emotions because they might spiral you down and consume you in your whole life. You got to learn to let go of your hate, which is another line I have. Let go of your hate.
It's true. Let it go. Let it go.
I'm just thinking of the Olaf short where, like, she throws the cape off and Ola gets hit with it.
Right.
No capes. All right, Jackie, what do you got? You got something good?
Authority can be given, but leadership must be earned.
Very true.
Yes.
People think that they're the manager or they're the ones in charge, that they're leading, and I'm all like, no, there's a difference between managing and leading.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we've all encountered that
Oh,
as
yeah.
an adult
Oh, yeah.
with their bosses. And I'll make it a point, be like, oh, they're a good leader. And I emphasize, like, leader.
Yeah.
If I want to insult my boss, I'll be like, you're a good manager. It's like your Disney way of saying, like, have a magical day.
Yeah.
Oh, you're managing. Yep. Yes, you are.
That is a job you are doing.
No. Yeah. I have great bosses. I have great ability to pick them out, except for some jobs.
Right.
Some jobs didn't last so long. Let's see. All right, I'm going to go to Thrawn. All right, this one is...
Going deep here.
We're going Thrawn, Grand Admiral Thrawn, and this is going to be coming up soon. This character, he's got a following from the books.
He was mentioned the last Mandalorian episode.
He's
Well,
mentioned in
as of this recording, by the time this episode comes out,
he was
it's already...
mentioned.
He was mentioned in the last season of Mandalorian.
Yes.
You know, season 2 and 3.
And 3, yep.
And
2
so,
and 3.
and it's also the main driver of Ahsoka's show, it seems like.
Yes.
Because he's the new bad guy that they're really building up. And that's what it was like in the books created by Timothy Zahn or Zahn. It just depends on how you want to say it. I've heard it either or.
I mean, they're literally taking the name of his book. That you hear that in the Ahsoka trailer, where it's just all like, he is the heir to the Empire.
Yeah.
They literally took that from the title of one of the books.
And they built him up too. That he was in Rebels. He was the bad guy. He's got 6 books in the Disney era where they go like where it takes place with his rise in the Empire, and then the prequels to that where he's in his own ascendancy, the Chiss ascendancy. It is all good. I really love those books. Like all the books tend to like spruce up these characters really well, but the author of this has been writing this character for 30 years and they're so good. And so
Thrawn is definitely one of the probably the most well-written characters for Star Wars period.
Yeah.
And he's barely made an appearance.
He's made such a little appearance, so when people know about him, they're like, oh, you're in the know. And so he's a military tactician. He is a brilliant mind, and he's logic, but he just takes in information, and he's very stoic in his decision making, and it makes everyone nervous. But he's the calm of the storm. You know? And he just wreaks havoc wherever he goes and owns people and enemies. You know, but what's going to break my heart is they're going to bring this character and he's so awesome, and then they have to beat him in a season or 2, and that's what's really hard when you introduce these awesome characters from the books.
I mean,
I want him to win to build up how awesome he is before.
I think what they're going to do, because I think they kind of announced it at this recent Star Wars Celebration, how like they have the Ahsoka series, but that there's going to be a Mandalorian movie that will encompass all of those TV shows.
Ooh.
So hopefully that's what we'll get.
Nice. They need a good bad guy.
They do.
And then the movies that we got, they kind of just... We just got this rush story, and then we got kind of gypped out of a bad guy. And then they put in like the creepy old emperor, like, I'm the jacked up clone that I've been working on for the last 50 years.
Right.
You know? So, Thrawn, quote, here we are.
Oh, wow.
This is a long way around. Well, a lot of people
Welcome
don't
to
know.
the tangent story right
Thrawn
there. All right,
so.
yeah. And he's my favorite character, so I love it. Thrawn, he goes, no one is immune to failure. All have tasted the bitterness of defeat and disappointment. A warrior must not dwell on that failure, but must learn from it and continue on.
Mm-hmm.
So true.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're not learning from your mistakes, then you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
You know, fail moving forward or something like that. I don't remember what that's saying, but yeah. He's a mentor, and when he's doing, he knows he's good at what he does, but he builds up the people around him. He's a good leader, even though when the forces around him are against him.
Yeah, it's similar to a quote by Cassian Andor. He says, "You're not the only one who lost everything. Some people just decided to do something about it."
I got that one there.
Yeah,
that's good. All right, Peter, what you got?
Oh yeah, I didn't get ready for my next one. Let's do. How about this one? Pass on what you've learned.
Oh, I heard that one. That's good.
Who did that one?
Yoda. He told as he was dying, he told Luke, "Pass on what you have learned."
That's true.
I should have you just read all my Yoda quotes at the end right here.
Or he's like, "I am a Jedi." Oh, I love that. That's one of my favorite parts.
Oh,
It's
we
like,
just claim
literally-
these things now, I see.
Literally, Yoda's like laying there about to die. He's all like, "I'm gonna die now. I am a Jedi." Oh, really? You think you're a Jedi? I love that part.
Okay. I'm a big boy now. Oh,
Okay.
really? You know, those sheets on the line right there dictate another thing.
He still pays his bed. He's a bedtime accident. That's his sheet over there.
Mama, you're embarrassing me. We're water boy quoting. This is a dangerous road to go down.
Yes, it
Jackie,
is.
do you have a quote for us before we go further
Yeah,
into the water boy?
Let's go here. The truth is often what we make of it. You heard what you wanted to hear and believed what you wanted to believe. Obi-Wan
That's a good one.
in Rebels.
Yeah.
Yep.
I read that one. I was like, oh, that one's good, but not good enough. All right, we're on to Thrawn again. I've got like 5 of these things. I think they're gold. This one is great. When I read it, I go, oh, I remember this. And it kind of puts things in perspective as an adult. Because remember, like all adults realize that there's a certain point you can't go up to someone like, hey, man, we got the same shoes. We're best friends.
Right.
Remember elementary school? Like,
Yeah.
you want to go hang out and play tag?
You're wearing the same Bugle Boy shirt.
Oh, wow, that's great.
We're twins.
We're cool. Like, you got snapback, I got snapback. Let's go play basketball after this. And when you become an adult and you're just like, I don't know if I want to associate with them. Like, he likes eating salad with Italian dressing. I'm kind of a ranch person. Like, we become super sticky with our friends, and then we lose track of our old friends. And I think this is a great way. Thrawn goes, true friendship is exceedingly rare. A friend need not be kept within sight or within reach. A friend must be allowed the freedom to find and follow his own path. For if one is remembered by a friend, one is never truly gone. And I was like, boom, boom. That's so good. Like, there's so many good friends we had, and all it takes is like a phone call or a text message or just one meetup like once in a decade.
Yeah.
And you just like spark it, and it just pumps you, and you're like, we're friends for life,
Yeah.
like forever.
And it gets hard. It gets so hard to do that as you get older. Like,
Yeah.
especially you got your families and things like that. It's very easy to be like, I've moved on and just kind of leave them behind. And, you know, I try to make it an effort. I'm not always the best. when
You're
it comes
good.
to-
You've been good
do
in
it,
keeping
but,
talk, and as a result, I've been able to keep, in contact with some of your friends that I grew up
Right.
with too, and I've appreciated that. Yeah, I've got old friends that we were best friends, and then just life moved
Yeah.
on. You tell one bad joke, and then they're never your friend again. You tell one joke as an adult, and they're like, "That's not funny anymore." I only did that once. All right, no.
Put the money in the bag.
Put the money. Oh, that's an inside joke like no
Yeah,
other.
I'm like so clueless right now.
It's such an
but-
old
It is.
commercial.
It's a stupid commercial.
All right, Peter, go ahead.
Jackie's taking
let's
charge.
keep going
Jackie's
here.
like, move this forward.
It's getting warm in here.
All right. You must unlearn what you have learned. Because sometimes we get caught up in the things that, like, we think we know what we're doing, and that closes our mind on other ways of doing things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's
for
good.
sure.
Going to that, in the Marine Corps, when they're teaching how to shoot, they think like, oh, how many of you can shoot? And like everyone's raising their hand, they're like, you guys are the worst shooters in the Marine Corps. It's the ones who have never shot because they're moldable.
Correct.
Yeah.
As opposed to somebody goes like, yeah, I'm good, and they Kentucky windage, and they like lick their thumb, and they like hit the wind. It's just like, no, it's the person who loses what they've lost or are brand new to it. Or
Right.
Yeah.
they lose what they know, or they are starting fresh.
Correct.
Yeah, because you can teach them how you want it to be done, and they're not bringing bad habits into it.
So yeah, those bad habits. Whew. Yeah. What do you got, Jaggy?
Your eyes can deceive you. Don't trust them.
Shifty eyes.
No, but sometimes like what you want can deceive the actual truth.
Yeah.
You see what you think you see. And
Yeah.
You get that confirmation bias. Like I knew it.
Right.
I see it. It's right there. It's like you don't know the whole story.
Yeah.
There was something like a cutoff scene in the The Last Jedi, where Rey and Luke were training, and they didn't show this movie, but it's in the extras, and they show like the village people.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
There's the village people,
It was a great
and
scene.
they're like, "Oh no, the pirates are coming!" And Ray's like, "We've got to do something," and Luke's like, like, "No, we're gonna watch," and like, they come and the pirates come in and they raid, and like, and Ray's like, "No, we gotta do something about this."
She goes, runs out there.
Yeah, and she finds out this is just a routine, like. They're celebrating.
It's a party.
It's a party. And she was going to come in lightsabers blazing and it's like slice off everyone.
Yeah.
She was going to totally crash it and be the biggest party pooper. And it is a good moment to really learn, like, hey, you don't know what's really going on.
Yeah, you don't
You should
know.
maybe wait and see.
Don't be so impulsive.
Yeah, in this instance, maybe water pirates, and then Luke just like watching these people get slaughtered. Luke gets really dark. Luke got really dark on that
did.
mountain
Yeah, he
there,
did.
all right? The way he looked at Ray when he was drinking that blue milk, I was like, that man's seeing things. All right, I got Thrawn. Here we go. If you know your enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the results of 100 battles. He's like the Sun Tzu of
Totally.
of Star Wars battles. So if you're like a big military person and you're like, I'm a warrior, you'll like these kind of quotes. And they're true to like, yeah, I got to know myself and I got to know my enemy and then I'll win. Because I do.
Yeah.
It's like when we play Risk. I just know you guys. And I win. You're like, no. Everyone's like, these two are looking at me. They're like, no.
Oh, I never
Never
win.
again.
I never win.
I think you
so-
won last time.
Did I?
Yeah, you won last time.
Jackie loves Risk. And
I
somehow I always end up
I
in
like to play-
Africa and Europe.
I'm always in Europe. And then
You're always
you
in like
end up
South
wiping me.
America. You always
That's
get
true.
stuck
I
there.
always get stuck in South America, and I'm like, I'm stuck because Mom takes North
Yeah.
America, and you guys have like trapped me in. I'm like, well, I got 4 territories.
He gets
Stuck
his
in
extra.
Brazil.
He gets his 2 extra armies, and he's just waiting there to die.
I'm just waiting for somebody else to go attack you guys so that I can take advantage of that and move up. Never happens. South America's not the way to go.
Australia.
No, not even Australia. Australia is a long game.
You have to hope that there's enough chaos.
Yeah.
to
in
be
Asia,
distracting. Yeah.
And everyone else is beating
Yeah.
each other up to where you can build up an army to come in and take them out.
No, North America is the best strategy. It's the easiest one because it's very defensible.
You got
and
3 points of
you have 3
entry.
points of entry.
Man, we've
You
totally
are
tangent.
like, okay, we did that waterboard. Risk. I'm like, I'm sweating right now.
All right. What do you got, Peter?
Here we go.
Only 40 minutes into this. Come on.
Still, this is episode 2. Okay.
Here we go. Conversation between Luke and Yoda. I don't believe it. That is why you fail.
Great line. That's right after
Yeah.
he like raised up the X-wing.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. And he just says it like a boss too.
That is why you fail.
And it was almost like, yeah, it was such a like disgust to let him know like you
So
don't
you-
want this trait.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Okay. I don't have that many left. So it says this is from a Skywalker.
A Skywalker.
Skywalker. You have to guess.
Okay.
You can't stop the change any more than you can stop the suns from setting.
Shmee. Talk about Shmee. Shmee is me.
Yeah. No,
I
just-
had that one.
Yeah, I
so.
like that one just because, like, change is going to happen. You just can't stop it.
Yep. She had some good quotes.
Yeah.
I have another one of hers. She had this path is placed before you. The choice is yours alone. And so sometimes we depend on other people's opinions.
Mama, I don't want to leave you.
Man, I have never cried in episode 1 before, and watching that whole interaction between Anakin and his mom, I was bawling because my son is at that age, and to picture my son to like leave, possibly never to see him again, like I was like, oh my gosh.
Even in those moments when you're really annoyed with him, you're like, what am I
Even
doing?
in
Nah,
those
I know.
moments, even in those moments, I love my kid.
All right, here's Throne again. I'm telling you, I got too many. Do you know the difference between an error and a mistake? Anyone can make an error, but that error doesn't become a mistake until you refuse to correct it. It's a little semantics game.
Yeah.
It's a good one. I like that.
All right, Jackie, got any more? You all
No.
done? Tapped out?
I'm tapped out.
Oh.
You guys won. I knew you would. That's why I was like, I don't think I can do that many.
How about this one? Be brave and don't look back.
Oh, what did I see that?
Be brave and don't. Who did that?
Oh, is that
What's
Smee
That's
still?
another-
That was all
Smee.
That's
like...
another Shmee.
It's
Yeah,
weird
no.
saying Smee. I keep thinking of Hook.
Right? Shmee, Shmee, Shmee. What about me?
The
Yeah.
boo box.
No, not the boo box.
No, I thought that was a great line. You know, it's dealing with Anakin's fear of like leaving his mom, and says, "Be brave
Leaving the nest.
and don't look back." And I love that, like, don't look back, because I think it's, you know, that's what will make things harder, is when we look back at what we're leaving, we'll miss out on the opportunity that's in front of us.
Do you think you'll tell your kid that when he's like
Off
leaving the
house.
nest?
Yeah, I would. Like, you know, you have to be afraid. You have to have that courage to step forward
Yeah.
into the unknown.
I think there's always that moment you remember when mom and dad like leave you.
Yeah.
You know, right when you're leaving to go into the world. Like
For me, that was going to the Disney College program.
that was big for you,
It
yeah.
was the first time I was by myself. Was that I felt so lost at the airport in Orlando. I was like,
Was
oh
that,
my
no,
God.
that wasn't your first time flying alone, was it?
No, it
I think you went to
wasn't.
like a church.
I think I did like
Yeah.
Utah. I think I had traveled. No, EFY.
Yeah.
Sure,
Church.
yeah, you went to church little.
I
Like,
did done, but
week.
like I was lost, like, because there was nobody there to pick me up. Like I had to go find my own transport. Like I was literally like, oh, that was the first moment for me. I was on my.
So
own.
I gotta do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big boy now.
Yep.
Yep.
I can't be like, excuse me, I'm 18, but can you help me?
Yeah, I remember mine. Mine was getting picked up to go to boot camp. That was a big moment. It's like 4 a.m. Oh gosh.
I just remember I was in middle school and I was at a
Mom and dad kicked you out early.
no, but like this was like a moment of like, oh, I've grown up, and it was just like
You can tell Jackie is the more mature one.
Right?
it's kind of true now.
I'm not arguing with that.
No, it was like I was like at middle school and I was taking the bus because it was too far to walk, and I was in like an after school program thing, and so they have after school program bus, and you get on the bus and the bus driver's like, where do you live? And at that moment I was like, I don't know, because I didn't know my address.
What? You didn't know your address?
Well, like, not like, I mean, I was like, this is like 7th grade, just out of 6. I
I'm
didn't.
surprised you didn't know your address then.
I knew in 7th grade I got on the wrong bus,
He ended
and so
up.
I had to walk home like a mile.
That's not too bad.
I know, but
you could have
still.
gone like for where we were going to going to
Well-
middle school. You could have ended up by the mall, which was like 7-8 miles
Oh,
away.
I know.
And I think it was like, I knew where I lived. I knew like major like
you know how to
land
maneuver it
points,
through in like with landmarks
visuals and stuff,
streets.
but I didn't know the full like. I don't know. It just
You're
didn't.
like the Mickey D's off the street. Like you didn't.
It just didn't. I think at that age, it just didn't click to me.
The app, take me to the APCO. Was it an APCO at that time, or was it
No,
Safeway?
Safeway.
It was
It
Safeway.
Yeah,
Transition
and
Safeway,
the
okay.
the bus was like, "How do you not know where you live?" And I was like, that moment, I was like, "Oh, I need to like grow up."
And that's when I got 3 jobs.
No, that's when I started selling candy bars to you guys.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I remember that. And you probably made a good money
I
from
made
us.
some good money from you guys.
I don't remember buying any of those candy bars.
Oh
but-
yeah.
I did. I bought several.
All right, what do you got, Peter?
Let's see.
All I've got is a bunch of Yoda quotes.
Let's hear. I've got some episode 1 quotes here. I love this one because this is one where Anakin is guilt tripping his mom. It goes, "The biggest problem in this universe is nobody helps anyone."
Mm.
I love that because, like, Shmi is all like, "Sorry, there's no one can help you," and then Anakin's all like, "You know what you say the biggest problem is, Mom?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay, he can help you. He can be in the pod race, I guess." Like, like I love it. Like, I think it's funny when kids pull that out and they like, it's like using your own words against you, and you're like, and I have to follow through.
Oh, yeah.
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 So, and then there's always a bigger fish.
Oh, always.
Always a
I
bigger
I use that
fish.
quote all the time when you're just hoping, like, someone's a jerk
Right.
and, like, cuts in line or something like big truck, and I'm like, you know what? There's going to be a bigger fish, and it's going to chew you to
Yep.
pieces.
Yep.
Like, it'll always come back, and it'll get you.
Yep.
I've only got one more quote that I'll probably say. What's a good one that you want to, because this will be the one that ends it, because it's probably the most.
Okay. Let me see if I can try to find a good one here. Okay, here, I've got one. Your overconfidence is your weakness.
Is it Count Dooku?
That's Luke.
That's Luke.
That's Luke talking to the Emperor. And the Emperor goes, "Your faith in your friends is yours."
You're so good at that.
But I love that. Is that your overconfidence is your weakness?
It's true.
That's good. All right, mine's Yoda. I don't know if we did this, but it's a good one to end on. It's no, try not, do or do not. There is no try.
Yep.
That's like the most popular
Yeah.
one, but it's the one that hits hard for everyone.
Because
And
it's true. It absolutely is true.
you can't argue it.
Nope.
It's just like,
Do
oh,
or do
try.
not.
No, just do it.
Yep.
Do or do not.
And I think that's a good one for us to end on, because it is, it's like our podcast.
Yeah.
We talked about it, and then we just did it.
Yeah. it's just
Jackie got it going, and we
set
were
a date,
like,
we're
we were all
like,
thinking
this
of
is
it,
what we're
and
doing.
she just
She
like,
did it.
let's
She
do
pushed
it.
it.
And so like,
And
that's
you listen to our first episodes, and they're rough. They're rough, but we did it.
We did it.
because we're so much better doing Waterboy quotes and risk strategy.
We just do an episode on Risk and Waterboy.
Waterboy is a Disney property, so I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's nice. They wanted to decapitate me.
Moving on.
They got dark with those quotes. So yes, very inspirational. I was like, I don't know if we're gonna have enough, but man, as you go into it, you type in a character, and Star Wars just flows with so many
think-
good messages.
And it's one of the reasons why I think Star Wars lasts. It's because, like, it's got those points that make you think and make you, like, self-reflect. And, like, that's what makes it great. Even the TV shows. I mean, we had a lot of Rebels and
Oh yeah,
Clone
Yeah.
Wars.
those TV
quotes.
shows, like every episode, it has a good, like, meaningful
Right.
to life, like, quote.
And
Yeah.
and so, like, to those people who might be like, I'm not gonna watch those, it's for little kids. No, like, they're really good.
Yeah.
You can skip Resistance. That one wasn't very good.
I never watched that one.
That one wasn't very good. That one was like a TV show that
Trying to
wasn't
do
gonna do
anime.
good, and they're all like, well, we'll just call it a Star Wars show, and we'll have an occasional Star Wars reference in there. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But
All right. Great episode, guys. I want to do I'm kind of fuddling with like my words. Let's see. If you want to get a hold of us, use our social medias, our email at matterhornyodlers@gmail. I look at Jackie as I say this. She's like, yes, this is our like 100 and like some odd episode of doing
It's not a
this.
very difficult email.
Matterhornyodlers
you
at Gmail.
you just have to know how to spell yodelers.
Yodelers. I have to look that up too. It's like, is it 2 D's? Is it 2 L's? How many A's? There are no A's? What? The yodelers.
Just look at our name and add Gmail.
Well, I'm having a hard time. I'm starting in Google and I still can't do it. Yeah. Social medias. like I said, we've done episodes based off suggestions from friends and through emails from people we have no relations to. At least I don't
Yes.
believe so. And so with that,
Watch our cousin's gonna be like, I'm that person, and it's like, oh, I totally forgot your family. Ooh,
No.
No.
we know our family.
We do.
We know.
So with that being said, listen and share with your friends and family. We appreciate it. And with that being said, Auf Wiedersehen.
Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of the Matterhorn Yodelers. Please remember, before your bobsled comes to a complete stop, to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And remember,
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.